Welcome back into Locked On Wrestling. I'm your host, Josh, and I got my good friend Kevin here to go over a little live reaction from SmackDown this week, May the 2nd, 2025. So a lot going on today.
What's going on, guys?
Yeah, say hello, Kevin. Sorry, I just cut you off there.
What's going on, man?
Nothing much, man. So I figured out about 15 minutes into this show that I was able to actually watch it because I wasn't even watching it for the first 15 minutes of it tonight. But it's been a crazy day in wrestling, obviously, because we have a bunch of releases that hit the newswire like an hour or two, before the freaking show started. And so that was all what the internet was buzzing about. And then, so probably like the headliner of that entire release list, I guess you could say, was Braun Strowman. So I know he's been off and on for about 10 years now with them, it seems like. So, and I hate anybody loses their job, but these guys are gonna be all right. They can sign autographs and shit like that too on the side. They can make their money on social media, YouTube, doing whatever, So I'm not gonna cry too much for them, but I mean, I've never liked Braun Strowman. I know some people really did. I like his look. I just felt like something was always missing that didn't quite click the way you wanted it to,
I always thought he was a big disappointment. He had the look, he has the power, but he just couldn't put it all together. I don't think his personality is very good. He don't have any charisma. He's just
just a big dude.
Like Pat McAfee said. Just a big son of a bitch. That's all he is,
I wonder if he was like trying to be a wrestler. I don't know his backstory, and I'm not gonna pull it up right now. But I wonder if he was trying to be some kind of wrestler, or they just found him in a gym, like all those old stories where they just bump into dudes in gyms, and they're make him. Oh, you're a wrestler now. You're a big dude.
They probably just found him powerlifting somewhere.
Yeah. And I don't know who. Yeah.
I liked the only one I didn't like was Katina Chance and what's her tag team partner?
Katina Chance.
That tag team they released.
Yeah.
I liked them because I thought they had a lot of potential. But other than that, I mean, Shayna Baszler needed to go.
Yeah. There's and Kyrie's. Is it Kyrie Sane? Was she the one gone too? I believe.
No, she's hurt. I think she's still there. At least I didn't see her leave.
Oh, okay. So she's just hurt right now. Or it was Dakota Kai. That's who it was. I was thinking. I got my names mixed up. Yeah, that's all she's gone to. Which I don't feel like I've seen her in like a year. I feel like it's been forever since I've seen her on TV.
She's been injured a lot too. She's been injured on and off too.
It's crazy. You see that, and hey, they may be making some releases tomorrow. I wonder if some of the matches we saw tonight were people that's last chance to do something with some of them. I wouldn't be shocked. I mean, think about it. Pretty Deadly. Would you be shocked if they got cut tomorrow? How many T-shirts are getting sold right now with those two? They got their titties. They're like man titties hanging out of these fucking. It's brutal. Did they come up with that? You think, or you think that got put on them?
I hope they didn't come up with it.
That's got to be a rib, right? I mean, if it's
outfit I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's pretty rough, man. It's pretty rough, and I don't know. I don't even know what you're doing with that. That's what I kept thinking as a through line through SmackDown tonight was that there was no star power on this show. They had none.
That's what I was thinking.
None.
You had Orton.
You had Orton. Yeah, that's about it. Yeah.
LA Knight, star. Is he a star?
It felt like a mid-carder night.
I did really like. I don't know if you're gonna jump into the opening segment, but
the opening segment
with the United States title picture, it looks strong.
It does.
I like the way the United States title picture is going because you got a lot of strong mid-carders to. You got Damian and LA Knight. That match was great, I thought.
Yeah.
I
hated it.
Half an hour, 45 minutes of SmackDown was good.
No. I came in about halfway, so I caught the second half. I caught the finish. And it was a good. I mean, I caught the last few minutes of it. It was good. I enjoyed what I was seeing. LA Knight's
Yeah,
an old
so
dude, but he's a nimbly bimbly some bitch because he jumped up to that top rope
yeah,
and hit that suplex
yeah,
off the top. Like he jumped up there like
yeah, I
nothing.
like LA Knight. I think he's a good worker and he's athletic and he's got over with just saying yeah, you know. So that got him over.
It seems like these
He's got
4-letter
charisma.
phrases get you over right now. Yeah, and
Yeah,
yeet.
yeah.
You know,
Oh yeah,
so
Yeet. Yeah.
I was thinking about it earlier too. There's because they're showing, and I'm jumping ahead a little bit, but Carmelo Hayes, he's not one I feel like I should see in that U.S. title picture right now, or in the IC title.
He is him.
He is him, whoever
Yeah.
him is.
He is where he should be on the sideline with the Miz right now learning because the Miz is good.
The Miz is good. He's
The
a good
Miz
hit
is a
man,
big guy.
and we'll get into that later. But
Yeah,
that may be the match of the night. There was some good.
yeah.
I will say that about tonight. This was a better show than Raw to me. Like there was better
Oh yeah, I
matches
thought
on
so
it for
too.
sure.
Yeah, definitely.
I thought Orton had a good promo and all those things, but yeah, in that opening segment, I missed. Did it go right into the match, right when it opened the
Yeah,
show?
yeah. No, when LA Knight came out and he did his spiel and then Damien came out and interrupted him. They were going at it. Two faces going at it in a promo.
Yeah,
So that's always pretty good entertainment for the crowd. But I think the crowd was backing more LA Knight in the match also, rather than Priest. And then the general manager came out and said, "Okay, you guys want to, take care of this in the squared circle. We fight, blah blah blah."
this is how their
But
office works.
the match, yeah, the match started off as they were just one upping each other in the ring. If two faces fight, they're gonna one up each other.
Oh yeah,
Sort of laugh and off and keep going. And then they got more intense, and you probably watched it about halfway through that. But it ended with the solo interruption and Jacob Fatu, which Fatu looks, he's a beast.
that's what I was wanting to
The
say.
guy's amazing.
That's what was popping in my head.
So
Fatu's face was popping in my head earlier, but what I was wanting to say was like, whose stars feeling so much harder from grace than Solo's right now? I mean, they made him look goofy when he came out there. Everything just looked goofy about what was going on with him.
I don't know if it's as he's looking goofy or as he doesn't look so much worse than Fatu because Fatu's so good.
I don't know, man, because they
You
kind of,
understand?
when Solo came on the scene, they built him as kind of this badass and carried him around like a bodyguard of Roman's, and he did look strong with Roman.
Yeah.
And then ever since he's kind of gone off on his own, man, he just like something about him's just goofy. Like at least tonight, it's like some vibe I was getting off of him, where it was just real goofy vibe of like the way he was selling. I think was kind of silly almost.
With Solo is he has a baby face.
Yeah,
His face is.
yeah, he has no facial hair at all.
No,
He's like
so
10.
young in his face.
He's 10 years old actually.
So he don't have that like mean look. I don't think like portraying him as being a like a mean leader or whatever. He don't have that.
Yeah, he really doesn't have that.
Powerful guy. I don't know. I think they might have to repackage him soon, maybe.
I don't know. I was just thinking about it. Like he came out to interfere, he did interfere. He calls the DQ, and then he just proceeds to get his ass beat by him. They just kick his ass, and then it's like, well, he's a bitch. They toss him to the outside, but then who comes in? Fatu has come in and clean house for the guy that's supposed to be the head of the table.
The leader.
And I know that maybe obviously we're eventually going to get a split between the two there. I think it's probably coming. Yeah, they like to think Solo's bigger than we do, I feel like. Yeah. So I can totally see that one coming out, maybe SummerSlam, but that's what we see as Solo. And
did you see that segment in the back?
Maybe
probably about, I think it was the second or third hour in the show where they had the segment with the GM that said that Solo is trying to screw over Fatu.
Oh, did they? I missed that. Okay.
Yeah. The GM was saying that he thinks that Solo is trying to screw over Fatu, not him. Because Solo told Aldis that I think you're trying to screw over Fatu. And then Aldis said, no, I think you are. And he walked away. So that was like...
What kind of unbiased like president is this? This is like... Yeah. It's like a Trump president. This Aldis, like he's calling people out. Like, I think you're doing this. Yeah. It's like... Aren't you just there? Like, Jack Tunney was just there. He was a figurehead.
when you're seeing Jack Tunney back in the day, something happen majorly.
Oh yeah, like this is gonna
You
be
know,
earth-shattering news. Yeah,
they only got in for big news.
yeah. Like
Here's
we got to
the
figure this out. We
MVP
got
of
to bring Jack Tunney
2021.
in. But
I like seeing Jack Tunney back in the day.
well, what happened in the? Where'd we go from there? I can't remember. You're going to have to be my outline for tonight.
Let me see.
I can't
I
remember the
think the
order of
second
it.
match was like pretty deadly versus Fraxium.
Was it
That
that?
was
And
like the next.
so I that dude, and I agreed with you. I think you were telling me like the guy that I forget his name, but he was running like really fast for Fraxium.
Nathan Frazier. He's like
Frazier.
a missile.
He's crazy. Like he is good. I will say that.
He's good, man.
He fucking barely
I think
comes over the rope. He's like his
I
head
know.
maybe. He's like Rey Mysterio size essentially.
You watch the guy and he's
I
like
didn't realize it.
captivating when you see him.
Dude,
Yeah,
the cameras couldn't hardly keep up with him when he's
I'm
going
telling you,
off the ropes.
If he can stay not hurt from wrestling that fast and that hard, I mean, he can be somebody as a singles competitor later in his career too. And he's that finisher he has. It's just the Phoenix Splash was insane. A couple botch counts in that match, a couple botches from the referee, so that didn't look too good. But
if he ever wants to break through, I think into like the world title picture, he's gonna have to get it really over one day. Though, I mean, he's 2 days in the company, so I'm not really mapping his future just yet. Well, but just his size alone, though, you know. Yeah.
Him and I don't know if you watch NXT much, but him and Fraxium. They were tag team champs in NXT.
Well, that I knew. Yeah, I knew they came up from NXT. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I don't see him talking on the mic much, like Frazier or nothing. So I don't really know how he is on the mic.
I'm telling you.
But
I think Pretty Deadly may be gone.
Pretty Deadly.
I think Pretty Deadly or Pretty Dangerous, whatever their name is. I think they're gone by the end of the week.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing with Pretty Deadly, man. They can play to the crowd pretty well for heels, I guess. They're flipping their hair, you know. They're going up and down like this.
I got a feeling that crowd. I mean, I got a feeling that crowd tonight did not like them at all. Because if you didn't notice, it wasn't nothing but white people, like farmers, middle America people. Because you see later on when I think it was Naomi was coming out and trying to do something on the mic or was saying something, and there's that guy, and she turns and tells him to shut up, and he's just telling her like, "Quit dressing like me." He's like, he kind of stole the moment there from her, which is she shouldn't have paid him no attention, but. I just started seeing the crowd at that point and was just like, man.
I think she got shook a little bit.
Probably. These people, they can't handle that. They're like, oh shit, the crowd's talking to me. I can't believe what the hell's. They're not supposed to talk to me. They get mad about it, you know.
Yep.
So, but no other thoughts on that Fraxium match other than they're really probably gonna smash these guys over a good bit until they get into where it makes sense to put them in a title picture match because the tag team belts might as well be on like in a dumpster somewhere. It really doesn't fucking matter the way they're doing it right now. They just keep doing that. Like every time they bring a team in, they shoot them straight up into like almost a title match. I feel like at some point, like there's just not enough. Yeah. Like we got 3 hours of show yet. What they used to get over in a 1 hour show every week, you can't get over in 15, 20 hours of programming every week. I mean, they used to get the tag belts across on one episode of, or 2 episodes of a show, 2 hours of TV a week, with Raw and then like, Superstars or later on SmackDown and everything. But I don't know.
SmackDown don't need to be 3 hours with the people they're putting on it right now. It needs to be 2.
Like I said, it felt like a lot of filler tonight, But it was good. That's kind of what's different. There was just no star power. It was good wrestling though. I don't have anything. I mean, we'll get into some of these other matches, but yeah. I mean, like I said, I enjoyed this episode more than I enjoyed Raw because at least I saw some wrestling.
Yeah, I did too. Right. Yeah.
I felt like I kept seeing match after match. Like, oh wow, another match. Like I kept waiting for some bullcrap promo set thing that hog another 30 minutes up. Which because Orton didn't go long. He went 5-10 minutes on the mic.
No.
I mean, he didn't hog it, so
He
it
got
seemed
right
like
to the point.
that's what just to put on my tinfoil hat. I really do think this was kind of a night of like, show us what you've got, or you're getting fucking released, or you could, because like Pretty Deadly may be gone. The only reason I say that is not because they necessarily suck or anything, because I think they can wrestle. Those gimmicks are never going to get over. They're never really going to sell merch. Maybe if they can come up with something, but I mean, but what I think about it is that they're getting beat by a team fresh coming in. Like, what does it say about you? Who I know Pretty Deadly at least has been there over a year for sure. Because I remember when they kind of were coming on SmackDown like Christmas time 2 years ago or whatever it was. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Something makes me feel like their days are numbered. Maybe not right now, but I don't see them making it too much further. Because
you remember the old tag team Billy and Chuck?
Well, that was at least Billy Gunn. At least that had Billy Gunn. I don't know if any of these are gonna add up to that.
Who was their manager? Who was their manager though?
It was a girl, wasn't it?
That guy would fit right in.
Was it Tori or something?
He had the big long sideburns. Got it.
Long
I would
sideburns.
say he would be pretty good with Pretty Deadly. I can't remember his name.
I can't remember his name either. But
so, anyways, we'll go on to the next match, which was the one that you liked a lot, and I did too. It's the Miz, Aleister Black. I think it was going to be a predictable ending because Aleister Black is definitely going to win that match, being his first full match back, or the next week that he just arrived. I knew he was going to win it, but they told a story, and the Miz always looks good in the ring to me. I think he's one of the better wrestlers in the company, but he gets shit on a lot. But anyway, they put a good match together, and the Miz selling is legendary. He can sell those kicks like no other.
Oh
the
yeah.
way he was selling them, and standing up after he got hit and slowly falling back. I thought that was pretty good. But I'm glad it wasn't a squash match because I thought it might have been, because the Miz have been in quite a few of them putting people over. So I'm glad it was actually the match went a good 15-20 minutes, I think.
So I guess the whole point of this too is just to make. Are they just trying to get Black over as a babyface? You think? Because I think the match is good too. I agree with everything you said. Honestly, I was sitting there thinking, man, this is a hell of a match. Like halfway through it, I was like, wow, this is a really good freaking match. Like they're actually getting time. They're getting to go out there and put on a good match. I thought Black came out looking good in it, and I don't know a lot about him. I don't fawn over somebody because they come out with a cool entrance. So I kind of wanted to see more about him because I don't know a ton. But I mean, I dug it tonight, and I also hate the way Wade Barrett says Muay Thai. He's a Muay Thai fighter because of his accent. But I mean, I thought overall it was a good match, and I agree with you. Miz, like by the time he figured it out, here's what kind of happened with him. He was fresh off of MTV. Vince just loved the fact that he was off of TV and he could wrestle decently, and that's why Vince was looking for some kind of connection to pop culture when it came to the Miz. And I think he got. I don't know if he got fooled into thinking Miz was more famous than he was, because notoriously Vince don't know shit about what's going on for real in the celebrity world. But they shot him to the moon a long time ago, and it just backfired, and he didn't do shit for so long. And so by the time he finally figured it out, like maybe 10 years ago, when he was like cutting those great promos on Daniel Bryan and he was doing the IC title program, like then it was just like they'd already fucking buried him for 10 years. That it was just like he could only go so far with it. You weren't going to put him back in the main event again. It just wouldn't have been. It was too late almost in some weird way. And now, like you said, they don't even use him. Like he could be out there.
They don't.
He's always going to be that easy. He's an easy heel. He's a lifetime heel, pretty much. He's an easy person to dislike. At least his character is. And, they can guest turn everybody babyface. Like, if they're in a program with The Miz, on a TV program with The Miz, then we'll get the idea across that this guy's a babyface. And I don't know. I think I'd rather this guy come in like I don't know. Maybe we got enough heels, but I don't know. I don't see him as a babyface like that dude. Like, unless they're trying to do it in some new age Undertaker way, and maybe that's the vibe they're looking for.
Yeah, I mean, he looks like more of a heel, but I understand what you say about the Miz. If you want to try to get somebody over as a babyface, put him against the Miz because everybody hates the Miz. But the Miz sort of has that same aura, like back in the day, the aura of like Ted DiBiase, the $1 Million Man. Back in the day, when you wanted to turn somebody face, all you had to do was go to Ted DiBiase and say no to him.
Yeah.
When Ted DiBiase asked you to come with him and be on his team, and you said no, or you turned down his money, the crowd would cheer the hell out of you.
Oh,
You said no to $1 Million Man.
Exactly.
So now that's just like with the Miz, you know what I'm saying? So I think he's legendary talent, and he's underrated. Definitely going to be a Hall of Famer. And I don't really ever remember him getting hurt that much. Like maybe
No, and I'm
once.
I'm sure he did, but what he's he's gonna be one of them ones you didn't know what you had till it was gone, and then when he's gone, everybody's like, "Oh man, the Miz was great," and then they're gonna go back watch old Miz matches and go with a fresh set of eyes or an older set of eyes or a more unbiased set of eyes.
My hand goes up, your mouth goes shut.
Dude, he used to be funny as hell on that mic sometimes too, though. And his wife is so hot too. Good for him.
When he used to say that, my hand goes up, your mouth goes shut. I used to love that. But the next match was I don't know if it was the next one, but it was pretty damn close. Zelina Vega versus Piper Niven.
Yeah, this is where I kind of came up with that. Like, man, this feels real. We hadn't seen. I think his part in the show where I was like, well, we ain't seen a star yet. Like I haven't seen no big stars on the show tonight.
It was her first week back for the U.S. title. It was the classic 3-on-1. You had the two people on the outside trying to help Piper, and there was an interference, and Piper got rolled up. She got rolled up by Vega because of Chelsea Green. So I see Chelsea Green getting another chance at the title in the near future. Probably a rematch, maybe a Backlash or something. It's probably going to come up for that, for the U.S. title, for the women's. That's about all with that match. I thought it was okay. I mean, I'm not big on Piper Niven at all, so I can't believe she works there. But I don't know what they see in her. You know what I'm saying?
I guess just she's somebody that can, hangs out in catering, and then they'll say, all right, time to come out and get a match. Like there was always a quote from Daniel Bryan on somebody's documentary, and he said something about most people are just in the back. There's a ton of people in the back that are like begging and pleading not to be on a Superstars match. They didn't even want to work. They just wanted to take the money and be done because they knew they weren't going to get over. So it's like, well, at least I can like not hurt my body and not have to do a match or not have to get ready and go out there. But yeah, they I don't know. I just don't care about any of this. I just don't. I mean, Chelsea Green, I get people, really love her, and I think she's a good-looking girl. Don't get me wrong, and I think she's silly. I thought when she was very silly tonight with her, like how she's acting and everything. And I don't really know what she's going for, or how long that's going to give her legs, acting like a goof.
Always talking about taking people to the Supreme Court and this and that.
Yeah, just being a goof, and like I ain't hating on her. I know I know she's essentially intending to do this, or they're actually writing her to do this. But I've read something where because she's married to old Zack Ryder, or they're together or dating or something. I don't know if they're married or not, but they're actually claiming that they're working on this stuff. Like they're really trying to be, come up with their characters, and we work on our characters, and it's just like there's no way you're working on this. Like anybody goes, man, I look like a fucking goof talking like this. I look like a fucking goof wearing all black because I lost my title, which I didn't necessarily mind that part of it, but like only if you're doing like a fake rock funeral for Stone Cold, like you know what I mean? Like there was nothing going, like it was just dumb. It was just like okay, like I don't know, man.
Piper's wearing like 3 layers of black. I mean, she's just got to be sweating her ass off.
Yeah, and I mean, she can wrestle. I mean, I guess it's just also uninteresting, and it's just like, man, this title, like if they're, if this is supposed to be more elevated than let's say the NXT Women's title, then it's like, what the fuck are we doing?
Yeah.
It's like we could throw away this whole division. I mean, the U.S. title. I mean, unless they do something
I
true
like
with it.
it. I like the initial idea, but I don't know. I don't know where it's going, or that they haven't really proven it to me yet. But I think they got better women's wrestlers in NXT, but
Yeah,
they'll be coming up soon.
I don't know.
On
Well,
to the Ray Phoenix versus Santos.
it's
Uh,
another good one. Yeah.
that was a high-flying match. Not the beginning though, because Santos was grounding Ray Phoenix pretty well, but
Yeah.
he was making him wrestle his game, and then more towards the end when Ray Phoenix came back, he started doing the high flying, and he's really athletic too. He can walk the ropes, and
Oh yeah.
he goes and springboards himself off the between the turnbuckles, and he's entertaining to watch.
Yeah.
Um,
I think
I
Escobar's
thought it
good
was good.
too. I think
Yeah,
he's the one that gives me one of the ones that gives me the vibe of like, are we gonna get rid of this guy? He's out here wrestling for his life or something, because they did just bring
yeah,
up two new luchas, and but
right.
I don't know. I think he can go. They had a hell of a match here. This is probably I can't remember what else we got coming after this, but I feel like this was definitely match of the night. Like I remember at times in this match, the crowd being dead. Like at the very beginning, they started kind of slow. I remember they started a little slow. They're doing some slaps, and you could hear a mouse piss on cotton. It was so quiet. And I kept thinking, like, okay, Escobar, you are the heel. You need to turn and just yell "shut up" at somebody in the front row, or start getting after the
Yeah,
crowd.
I mean,
Like, get the
that was such
crowd,
a good
like,
match.
get them talking.
Do
Like,
something.
there's so many times
Yeah,
in matches these days where you just hear
yeah,
the crowd go completely silent, and then the internet wants to go, "Well, they're dead." It's like, well, they're not doing anything. Like, hey, the heel needs to be working then, like getting on the crowd talking crap, or let because I feel like they should go heel talking crap. That gets the fans more excited than like the babyface pumping up the crowd, at least at that spot. So I don't know. I thought like, man, if they would have talked right there, that would have made it better because it felt like really a lull. And I'm sitting there going, man, this match is going to bomb or something. And then they really won the crowd
yeah,
over by just working.
yeah.
They
They
just
worked right.
started working really hard after that slow start. And dude, by the end, that crowd popped for Ray Phoenix. Like they had got them all invested
Yeah,
into the match.
it was a
They
hell of a
don't
match.
like Escobar. He seems to be naturally disliked by the fans. He's just got to lean into that. He's got to like be telling him to go fuck himself and stuff. Like,
Well, he's another one that turned on Rey Mysterio, so people remember that because
yeah,
Rey's such a big baby face.
yeah. But they
But
don't like
at the
vehemently
beginning,
hate him though. It don't seem like They
yeah,
just kind of don't. They're very indifferent to him. It seemed like.
yeah. At the beginning, Santos was yelling at Phoenix to join him, like let me
Yeah.
bleed. But so it was a good storytelling. And then after the match, I don't know if you've seen Andrade was backstage telling Santos he fucked up pretty much, and
Yeah.
you don't know you're doing with what are them two, the tag team called uh I don't know the other two Mexican tag team there.
Oh yeah. I looked up for like a split second. I was doing something else during that spot, and I can't remember who it is either.
Anyways,
The
he was trying to convince
LWO.
them
Hell, I don't
to
know.
yeah he was trying to convince them to join with Andrade pretty much and let him lead because
Yeah.
Santos couldn't do it or whatever. But
Yeah.
it's a
It
good
seems.
angle. It's coming up.
It seems, and they're not even going after a title in this. This is the perfect division for cruiserweight or something because it's just a bunch
Yeah,
of Hispanic factions. They've got like
right.
going at
Yeah,
each other, and then hey, you got these Fraxium guys. I mean, I don't know. They're
right.
smaller, so one day they'll disband, and hey, that's kind of a perfect spot for them to all land. And if you can truly get over big in those divisions, then you move your way up. Because there's
Right.
just yeah, it's like I don't know. I think I want to say they've got enough belts, but at the same time, it seems like they don't have enough either, or they just got people like doing gang. I don't even know what this is supposed to be, but Andrade. Let's get rid of this guy. I don't even care about him. I've
You don't
never
like
got
him?
into him. No, I've never cared that much for his matches either. Like I'm just kind of over it. Like what are we doing with this guy? Like
Well,
just get him out of my
he just
face.
got there, so I don't
He
think
got
he's
there
gonna
two
leave
years
anytime
ago.
soon.
He's been there like 2
No,
years, hasn't
Andrade.
he? Yeah, he's been
He
like
just
a
came
year
back.
now.
No, he just came back.
Or is he injured and came back? Because he
No, well, he was in AEW for a year and a
well
half
he
or two.
well he was
I
in
think.
AEW, but he's left AEW, came to WWE. It's been well over a year. That's probably been closer to two
Has it?
now. Yeah, it's been close to like two. Because
Andrade?
he came over, then he got married to Charlotte, I think.
Okay. I thought he just came back. Like,
It's been at least a year. I feel like he came back at the Rumble before last because nobody cared when he did.
okay.
Like he came
Yeah,
back and everybody's just like, oh, here's this guy again.
you see how much I care. I didn't even know he was back at the Rumble.
He's terrible. Like I don't care about him. I want him to go away. And like, I mean, I won't say he's terrible, but he's we forget this. They just bought AAA. So you got a lot of people, and I ain't even talking about the Hispanic fellas. I'm talking about just talent in general. You can move down that way.
Let's see if they keep Alberto Del Rio, El Patron.
Yeah, he's gone.
I think they're going to fire him because he used to.
Well, I don't think they want him in WWE.
Well, he used to give Triple H shit about it, even his nose size.
He's probably the only one that didn't get excited when they sold the company.
Probably.
I'm sure everybody else was like, yeah, he's their champ.
He's the champion.
Or he's one of their champs. I don't know which one he is, but he is a champ.
I think he's the main one.
I think he is too.
I mean, the guy can wrestle. He used to get heat. He used to get a lot of heat in WWE.
Dude, I loved his ring announcer, dude.
Carter Rodriguez would come out and just you'd make him even more heat. So I don't know, it might work. But we'll talk about the women's tag team match next, and then we'll leave Orton for the last because that was probably the biggest star power of the night.
The only thing we got left, the main event for the women.
I think so.
Or is there another one?
We went through.
I guess
LA.
that's right. Yeah, because I guess Escobar went kind of long. They went through that.
Yeah.
They were doing the picture-in-picture.
Yeah.
On USA, and I just hate all commercials, really, for wrestling.
Yeah.
Like you could tell Escobar was like, getting it in on Ray, and he's talking shit to the camera. He may be trying to sell himself and get over there, and he may have been doing everything I just said. He might have been talking some shit that like worked. But we won't know because it's picture in picture and you can't hear a fucking word he's saying. It's like they gotta let they gotta let the wrestlers know, hey, we're at picture in picture. Don't even fucking, and they even gotta shoot it to where they're not like looking up in the camera. And I don't know.
Yeah,
maybe they're telling them the complete opposite and saying, yeah, really.
There's a lot
they
of
won't know what you're saying.
These newer wrestlers are laying on the mat, right? And they're trying to put their hand over their mouth, and you can hear them talking to each other.
Yeah.
I hate that. You got to be more professional than that. It's trying to hide it or something. It's so obvious you're trying to talk to the other guy laying there on the ground.
What did we skip it? We skipped the match. Who was in the match? Or no, it was the Pretty Deadly. Was that the one with the ref that kept jacking up real bad? Did we talk about that?
That was
that was the tag match, right? I think that was
the black woman ref. What match was that?
I think that was the tag match.
Yeah, we talked about it.
The Pretty Deadly match.
Yeah.
Because
I wrote it.
she missed. She pulled off 3, but the guy didn't kick out. The Pretty Deadly didn't kick out of the 3 count, and then they came back and did right after that, the next false finish, she slapped them out and even counted 3 out loud, and they just got up and kept going.
Like nothing happened, right?
Like they should have at least been like, "Oh damn, we lost." They just like kept going. No, and it was like you at least could have saved the fuck up a little, but it probably didn't matter. That's what I'm saying. These guys are done. They didn't get rid of that ref. Hopefully, she was on her. I hate it. Ain't and call me what you want. I don't care honestly, but I'm not being sexist when I say it. Women reffing a fucking men's any kind of match makes no fucking logical sense. Why aren't we trying to use logic in the slightest? You can't ask us to use logic about one thing, and then the other So we're being told not to use logic, or that it is logical, or that we should shut up our mouth and deal with their logic. That's all we're ever getting from the.
Yeah, they rarely even do intergender wrestling matches anymore. But I guess a woman ref could ref a men's match.
In 10 years, we'll have a transgender champion. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. Dude, they already got like what Nyla Rose or whatever. Or I don't know. I don't know if he or she's wrestling or not anymore. But
I swear to God, if I'm a transgender champion, I'm done, man.
I mean, shit. I wouldn't be. I mean, they're gonna have a Slim Jim champion. They're gonna have a fucking. What was the other one? That one they kept. Oh, the waffle cones. What are they called? The drumsticks. They're gonna have a drumstick champion. Remember the ice cream bars they were selling
Oh yeah.
for the ice cream cones? But yeah,
All
so
right, under the tag match. You got Nia Jax versus Tiffany Stratton and Jade. What do you think of that match?
um, I mean, kind of whatever about it. Honestly, I know it's just there. They're trying to progress stuff. So I kind of was thinking about it the other day, and then I'm almost kind of going back on wanting to talk about it. But when you think of Jade Cargill, what do you think? Like, not
I
really.
think
Not.
her
I'm
look,
not even talking about her look, but really just about her career. What do you think?
her career. I think her career is it's gonna be great. I think she's very green still, but I think she's gonna have a great career.
Okay, you
I
said the
think
keyword I'm looking for. I was fishing
she
you
has
right
a
there.
yeah, she has a lot of power, and she can do powerful moves, but she can't like put a match together and wrestle and like make it flow. But she's got the look, she's got the
She
power,
can't
she got a
wrestle.
little
That's
bit
what
of
you're
mic
saying.
skills. Yeah. She's
Can't
not that good
wrestle.
at wrestling,
So
but
I'm glad we brought that up because and you said the
yeah,
keyword when you first started talking was green.
hmm
Guess what year she started wrestling?
can't be that long ago, right? I'm gonna take a
2008,
guess.
2018.
Yeah, so
That's
I
7
was right.
years.
But
There's
how long in those 7 years was she wrestling?
well, she was
I mean,
training.
like
Okay,
full
so
time,
she was 5 years ago today. She was in AEW wrestling. I think
right?
she
Well,
won her first
that's not.
AEW championship in 2019.
That was probably a big
Dude,
downfall part right there.
well, no, well, here's my point. She's been wrestling. It doesn't matter what territory, really, for 7 years.
Who was teaching her though?
Okay,
That's
hang
what
on.
I'm saying. Who was teaching?
A laundry list of Hall of Famers. Hang on, let me look this up. And I only
Okay.
because I got down this rabbit hole the other day did I want to bring her up in this thing.
Hmm.
And it's not me hating on her. I hope she gets better. I just don't know. It's just kind of wild to me how bad. Like I can still say, yeah, I dig her because I think she's really good looking and all that stuff. But to be realistic and be like, no, she's like she is good looking, but she's fucking awful. Like she should not have been. So she started training in 2018 as a wrestler, right? She was introduced to WWE veteran Mark Henry. So Henry starts training her. He takes her to Morrow, Georgia, owned by Heath
Hmm.
Slater, Ron Simmons, Farouk, and Teddy Long.
I used to love Heath
So
Slater.
that's 4 people right now that's already been training her. Then from there, she goes to she does a tryout for the Performance Center after that. So she's wrestling indies in like 2018. All right. They get her down there. Oh no, then she began training at the same time. So she's doing double training, I guess, or something, or these are running back to back. She then trained at the Nightmare Factory under Cutie Marshall and Dustin Rhodes. So you got Gold Dust training her. Then and Sanjay Dutt and Brian Danielson while she was in AEW. So I mean, just really a who's who, right? A little bit. Well,
Uh-huh.
maybe not a who's who, but they should be able to make a pretty dang good wrestler. You'd think all them people. But she's been wrestling for 7 years, man, and I'm watching her, and it looks like you said, everybody for some reason has this in their head that she's really new to this. Dude, that's 7 years. Stone Cold wrestled for 8 by the time he won his first title. So
True.
what's the past? Just that she's good looking? At what point do you go, hey, she just kind of fucking sucks? Because like when you see real good women coming through wrestling, and then you smash over this girl over those people. I mean, she's a nice girl. I wish her the best, but like she should be like in the U.S. title picture. Jade. She wrestles like a U.S. title person. She talks like a U.S.
Oh
title person. She don't talk or wrestle
yeah,
like a WWE Women's Champion. And it's kind of a
I
slap in
agree
the
with you.
face to all of it, the whole belt and all of it. Because I mean, your champ right now is Tiffany Stratton. She's wrestled for maybe 3.
Yeah, well, she's amazing too. But I'm gonna tell you something.
But I mean,
Jade Car Jade Cargill next week on SmackDown has a number 1 contenders match
yeah,
to
that's what I'm getting
fight
at. That's why I brought
Tiffany
this up.
Stratton.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's crazy that, like I
Like
said,
what?
I think she's gonna have a good career. Probably, she'll probably be a Hall of Famer one day just because of her power and her look. But is she a great wrestler? No. Is she you know who she reminds me of in the men's division way back in the day? A
Ahmed
guy with
Johnson.
a good look? No, hell no. A guy with a good look. He's tall. He's muscular. He's got all the power moves. He was the champion. Kevin Nash. Could he wrestle? No.
He could tell a story at least. He could make it look believable. Granted, in his defense, or not, or in your defense, I should say, he was wrestling Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart, Razor Ramon.
Yeah, I mean
He's
that's what I'm
wrestling
saying.
like legit wrestler, Hall of Fame wrestler, dude. So, but I don't know.
I don't think
I wouldn't I wouldn't do Kevin like that to say he's the Jade Cargill of wrestling. I mean, come on.
I would.
I don't think I'd go that
Sure.
far with he can wrestle better than that. He at least made it believable. You believed
A
what
little
was
bit better.
happening in front of you, and it's her. You're just
Oh,
like, God,
You
you can
might agree
noticeably
with this
tell
one
she
better.
sucks.
Maybe a Lex Luger.
Dude, Lex, get off of Lex too. Like Lex could wrestle better. Come on.
I don't know.
The
man.
one I would literally based off of like sheer power, and it has nothing to do with the skin tone, but that helps. You know, both black. She is the female Ahmed Johnson. And actually, in his defense, he probably didn't wrestle as long as she has. She's wrestled 7 years. In some
I
form
think
or
so,
in
man.
some capacity, she's trained or wrestled in front of people for 7 years.
I think she'll have a way better career than Ahmed Johnson.
Oh yeah, I agree there too.
That's
What
what
he
I'm
was
saying.
a couple-time IC title holder. That's about all he did.
Yeah,
Nothing
maybe
bad.
tag
That's
team.
pretty good. Probably a
But
tag team too. Yeah.
I'm talking about the end of her career. That's why I said like a Kevin Nash or a Lex Luger. I think at the end of her career, she'll be a Hall of Famer like them two.
Well, hell,
know?
Michelle McCool's a Hall of Famer, so it's kind of like let's
so
weigh the Hall of Fame too. You know.
So is Coco Beware. So I'm
Hey,
just
at
saying.
least he had a
I'm just-
parrot.
What
like-
was the parrot's name?
I liked I'd known it if you didn't say if you hadn't asked. Frankie.
Yeah, Frankie.
So he had Frankie going for him. Maybe we just need to get Jade Frankie. Get her like a parrot to walk to the ring with her. Maybe that'll make her a little bit more spicy. I don't know.
And I remember when she first signed with WWE, Triple H sent her to NXT for like 6 months. And I thought she was going to come back and actually be better at wrestling, but
No. She's not. She
No.
don't get it. She just looks really great though. She reminds me of that. I mean, she's not as bad, but her whole like trajectory kind of reminds me of Ava Marie, the redheaded chick. Like she just looked so good, but she could not ever get it. But you kind of kept her around and in front of the TV for a few years because she was nice to
what
look
does
at.
she do now?
She'd stop you. You know, she's probably doing signings or on the indies or something.
OnlyFans? Or...
She may be with the company. Hell, I don't even know. There's so many fucking people at this company. She may be somewhere slithering around. I can't believe they didn't make her at least some sort of on-air kind of commentator. At the very least,
totally,
you know.
Totally
Unless she's
cut
just
ties with
stupid
her.
as hell and couldn't hold a conversation. I don't know. But
Hold a microphone.
But you know, and that's the thing. Jade gets a title shot or a number one contenders match. I don't think she goes over. I think Nia does. I could be wrong.
You think so?
Well, she left Nia laying tonight. That only means Nia gets the win next week, right? Isn't that how Triple H books it?
Yeah, you're
we're gonna remember that for next Friday.
Yeah.
To see if she pulls it off. And I don't really like the deciding of the match card the night before Mania. I don't even like it the Raw before. I think, or not Mania, but the pay-per-view. I kind of of the ilk that, you know, it should be, you know, you have
be a build a little bit.
It should be settled so your go home Raws and your go home SmackDowns are just to elevate them even more, what you've already got set on the match card. And we're making up matches the night before that most people aren't going to watch SmackDown. They're not probably going to know what happened on SmackDown, and then they're just going to be watching the pay-per-view and go, oh, cool, they're having a match? Okay. You know, for the women's title. Right. Okay, there's no program here. Which I know they only had 2 weeks to build to it, but hell, I mean, where's Charlotte? Why'd she go away? She ain't even been here to go away. She should be on the follow-up SmackDown. They could have went right into a rematch at Backlash and let Tiff go over again. Or do a different stipulation on the match. Do like a hardcore women's match or something.
That's a good
Like,
point. Did she get hurt or something?
maybe she's hurt. I don't know. The only thing I've seen of Charlotte since Mania is these videos online popping up of her dancing in the club. That's the only thing I've seen.
I'm glad I didn't see that.
She's up in the club. She was like
Oh.
giving eyes to Jey Uso or something. They were trying to make the video seem that way. I don't think she really was. Maybe she was. I don't know.
All right, let's get to the.
She is a flare.
Anyway. Let's get to the Apex Predator, the Viper, Randy Orton coming out with the star power of the show. The guy's over as hell. But
yeah.
As a face, he's over as hell. But I prefer him as a heel. But he's doing damn well as a face right now, if you ask me.
I thought about it as he walked out tonight. I was like, I wonder if we're gonna get set up for like a swerve at Backlash. I wonder if he's gonna like join Cena or something, and then it's gonna be the old heads versus these. But who do they? We have no baby faces.
Yeah, he's got to be a baby face right now. So.
Yeah, after Orton, who would be babyface? Who's babyfacing next? I wonder.
He comes out talking about how Cena was like this all along. You know, he knew how Cena was. He fooled the crowd for 20 years, but he knew how Cena real character was. Cena took advantage of the PG era. You know, that was a good line when he said that. When he brought the PG era up and Cena took advantage, sold all his merchandise, only cared about his bottom dollar, you know.
Yeah.
And he actually got fans thinking like, well, maybe that's really what he was doing this whole time, you know.
Yeah.
Then he said he's the legend killer, and he's not gonna take away Orton's legacy and his family's legacy, and he's not gonna take away wrestling. I'm gonna put a squash to that, you know. His veins are popping out of his head, and it's classic Randy Orton, man.
Yeah,
I was right on that. Yeah. I was right on that segment. So.
The whole opening of it kind of reminded me of like that kind of throwback to the Hogan after Hogan turned heel and everybody started saying they knew. He was always trying to tell. I was trying to tell everybody this whole time, like Heenan and you know, Flair, all of them. We were trying to tell you he was a piece of crap, you know, blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
So it kind of reminds me of that a little bit. I'm looking forward to this match, though. I'll say that. I'm looking forward to Backlash a little bit.
I don't think Orton has a chance to win because they wouldn't have turned Cena heel and then have him lose the title this fast. But I'm still looking forward to the match.
Yeah. I think it's going to be a good match, but it's going to like try to. I don't know if it's going to be a clean cop of win match or not, or if it's just going to be like.
I don't think it'll be clean.
They'll disqualify somebody or something, and maybe
you're gonna see probably Travis Scott at the end again. His music's gonna come on, and
I don't know. I don't think you'll see him again. I really don't.
It's gonna take 15 minutes to walk down to the ring and like do something stupid, smoke a joint, and grab the rope. And
well, didn't Orton make a reference to somebody who's pulling Cena strings? He kind of referenced like I would assume would be The Rock. Did you catch that vibe on that one thing?
Yeah, I did. I did a little bit, like when he said he sold his soul a long time ago. Blah blah blah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I don't think it's going to be a clean win.
But I thought he said something about somebody kind of. He didn't say pulling the strings, but he was kind of using that kind of phraseology of like, you know, this is what, you know, somebody's talked you into doing this too or being this way a little bit.
Maybe The Rock will come and help him.
So I'm wondering if here comes The Rock again, since that whole blow up that post-Mania, if there's going to be like Rock shows up or they try to like, because all, you know, I don't know. We'll see. It's in St. Louis.
Cena returns. They advertised Cena for next SmackDown. So
yeah, he is on next SmackDown, so we'll see him there, which I'm assuming SmackDown's probably in St. Louis too next week.
Is it next week? Maybe.
Well, next Saturday is Backlash.
Oh yeah, so it came fast.
Yeah, it was only booked out like 3 weeks after Mania, I think. 2 weeks. It was a pretty quick turnaround. Now I think Money in the Bank will have like a month between it, so they'll have some time to do something there.
I used to really like Money in the Bank, but it seems like the last 3 or 4 has been pretty washed down to me.
Well, it's all watered down. Like all these, you know, everybody was going crazy. And it was a good match, don't get me wrong, but for the tag team TLC match last week on SmackDown, and to me, it's just like, well, if you've seen 100 of them, then you've seen 1,000. You know, because I mean, how many of these have we seen?
It's
still enjoyable, don't get me wrong, but it's not like earth shattering. It's not like You know, it didn't hold the same weight as it did back when we first started seeing them back in the day. You know, so and you've seen better ones, even though it was good. You've seen better.
Give me a boiler room brawl. Give me a buried alive match.
Yeah, yeah, do that or like what do you say, boiler room? But it's kind of like Money in the Bank is, and I like the concept because I think it gives you a storyline there for the whole championship with the cash in. But the match itself, it's kind of like Hell in the Cell where they watered it down and made it lamer than it was when it first was created. Because all these ladders don't even look like real ladders. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm sure they hurt just sure it fucking hurts, but still, you know, it's not like a real ladder out there.
But it's not steel.
Yeah.
It's not grade A iron steel like they say.
Like everything looks so overly produced sometimes. Like there's like perfect production on stuff, then there's just like overly produced. Like I hate the barricades are all just big padding and they try to act like it hurts.
Yeah.
Or they do that same every time they crash through the padding, it's always in that one same spot back by the bell. It's just some stuff is
overall on this SmackDown, what are you gonna grade it? And I know you graded Raw last week at a C-.
I'm gonna go B- actually.
B-.
Yeah, I think it could have been an A if we had a little bit more star power on this episode because I thought all the wrestling was good. We did see a lot of people we wouldn't normally see, I felt like. So it definitely gives B show vibes, but at the same time, it's kind of the A show as far as the quality of the show too. Like if that makes sense. Like we know they're elevating Raw more than SmackDown, but like I felt like as far as if we're comparing Monday to tonight, SmackDown's a better show without a doubt.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't say Raw had star power either. I mean, we had Seth and Heyman. That was about it. And you know, you're being, you know, fast and loose calling them even star power to like. I mean, we all love Heyman. I ain't saying that, but he's not like he's a manager. He's not a star like wrestler or nothing.
Like Roman Reigns only goes to 1 or 2 shows a month.
They said he ain't coming back till June, so he's gonna take off like a month. I'm sure Punk's gonna be off for a little bit until after Backlash.
They better start building new stars. You know what I'm saying? Besides Braun Breaker.
Yeah, because I mean, and you saw guys tonight that could be stars. Like I think Escobar, if somebody helps him and shows him how to truly be a heel, he'd be a hell of a lucha fucking heel. He wrestled a hell of a. If you give that kid time, man, he put on a great match with Rey Fenix, and that's a good rivalry they could have. Or him and Penta could put on a good match. Like there's guys that can go. We got to just do something, you know, intriguing. Give them story. Give them a reason to hate one another, other than just winning a match.
I agree. I think with them acquiring AAA, there's probably going to be a lightweight title back or something.
Like I'd say they're probably just gonna say cruiser just for the nostalgia of it all. Cruiserweight belt.
Right. And you know what? Those matches will be some of the best.
Oh yeah, and give them proper time, and you know, let's have a good. You know, it's and don't book it as like a crap match. Like let it go on first, but give them 30 minutes. Give them 20 minutes. Right. Like that's WCW would give them time to work back in the day, and they always would open the shows. You know, it seemed like they always opened the show, and they fucking have everybody at a fever pitch, you know, or it'd be at least the first match you saw. The pay-per-views on WCW, generally the cruiserweights always open the pay-per-views.
Yeah,
tore it up, you know.
It's gonna be a hell of a match. So I used to love watching Ruben Guerrero back in the day.
And I don't know if the match card's settled. I guess it's not, but we can go give our early predictions. They ain't got to be our set in stone predictions for Backlash, but you know, I'm thinking, so you said, I think I got, I'm with you on that though. I think Orton doesn't win.
No.
I don't think there's any chance in hell he wins. And I don't even know if we get a clean finish. Cause I'm not necessarily, you know, ready to say that him and Orton will just be done after this. I don't know. I don't see Cena doing Money in the Bank. I don't think they'll put him on that card. We might get the World Heavyweight title on that card, though. Usos. Do we have an opponent? Does Uso have a match booked for Backlash already? Oh, yeah. Logan Paul.
Logan Paul.
Yeah. And
I said Logan Paul has a chance to win.
You think Logan Paul's going over?
I think he has a chance. I'm not going to give my predictions yet, but we'll wait till when are we gonna do the prediction? So like next Friday, probably.
Yeah, I guess we'd have to.
Whenever.
Yeah, because we won't
But
really
I
know.
think
We won't know that women's match until next Friday. But for the Tiffany belt, which I was gonna say earlier too, when it just the women surrounded around Tiffany. You had Nia. Who cares? You
I'm
got
just saying that
Jade. You got
WWE.
Naomi. Oh yeah, Naomi with a new
Yeah,
entrance tonight. What you think about that?
yeah. Well, it was out last week, but I like it.
Oh, she did it last week too. Okay, it seemed like her outfit was
I like
different
the
this week or something. Maybe that's what it was. Is she
It
not
just
going for
has
the?
the
I feel like everybody's acting like this is new, but I feel like her whole gimmick's kind of like pulling off that old Owen Hart one. Remember?
yeah. That's what I thought too.
That's what I thought
And
was.
Disney One Heart vibes.
But they're not saying that unless they can't say it because of the whole
Enough is enough.
AEW
It's
thing.
time for a change. Remember
That's what
Owen used
I
to
wish
say
she'd
that.
say that. You think they'd get copyrighted? Because didn't she signed
Oh,
some
probably.
rights thing to AEW with Owen Hart because they did the tournament for him. They're doing it right now, I
Oh
think.
yeah. It's so stupid. If
A
you ask
company
me,
he
that
never
they're
wrestled
doing it.
in.
Yeah.
It ain't like WWE went under and there was nowhere else. So the
Right.
best thing
Yeah.
is this one now, and that's why we're doing this, just to hold on to memories
Yeah.
of those. But it's like no,
Right.
Vince is gone. You think I really thought after Vince, I bet this could happen. I don't know how long that deal is she has with AEW, but I could totally see her coming over once Vince is gone, maybe since he's gone now. Because that was always her
Yeah.
thing, was like she didn't like
That was the
Vince.
thing. It's like, yeah.
Well, they've sold the company, so maybe
Right.
she would be more about bringing it back over into the fold. I'm sure they're gonna try at some point, or they're telling Brett to
Yeah.
help them try. But I don't think Brett gets along with her anyway.
Who does Brett get along with though? That's the
True,
question.
true. Whoever his wife tells him
They
to
tried to shake
on
the Hall of
social
Fame,
media.
gave him a dirty look.
I love when he does his social media, like his little social justice warrior posts on social media. Brett does, and I'm just
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, your wife made you say that.
Yeah.
Like you're not trying to come on here talking about this. But yeah, overall, what do you give? What'd you grade the show tonight?
I had the same as you. I had B minus.
B minus. Yeah. I almost kind of feel bad giving it that, but at the same time, like I think if we'd have had either Miz and Black go off, or the Phoenix Escobar match go main event, I would have liked it. I might have went B plus. I just didn't like that
Yeah,
last match. I felt like it was kind of lame.
The opening match was good too. I mean, you had the Priest and LA Knight was good.
Yeah, you would have figured that might have been your main event, not your show opener.
Yeah. But it set the tone for the night, so it wasn't a bad opener. But I thought, the overall show was pretty good. I'm sure the people in Des Moines were happy with it live too.
Yeah, they got them a live show in Des Moines, so and they were a good crowd. I mean, they were your normal crowd. You got to do something to get them into it. They're not just going to be into it for the sake of being into it. So some people worked with that, some people didn't. But I thought, quality show, quality matches. So that's about it. Yeah.
I'm excited for Raw on Monday because it couldn't get much worse than last week.
Yeah, and I don't know if we got anything so far being slated for Raw. I haven't seen anything booked yet. Maybe I think we do have a match that they booked last week, but I can't remember what it is right now off the top of my head. But I don't know if it was anything. It was a big deal or not. But yeah, hopefully a better fucking Raw than we had last Monday. That was a really letdown coming off after WrestleMania. So SmackDown definitely wins the week, I'll say. As far as just overall quality of shows and what you want to see as a wrestling fan when you tune on a show. You want to see some fucking wrestling. I can do without the backstage bits. I can't stand when they're trying to talk and act and do whatever it is they're doing backstage. It don't matter who it is. It's just the way it's produced and shot. It just makes it all so phony. I can't stand
like the cheap shots and stuff backstage when a heel's trying to get over or something like that. But yeah, most of the acting ain't that good backstage.
No, it's just porno level acting. So. Yeah. But anyway, well, I guess we can put a bow on this for tonight. But yeah, if you're here with us, new to the channel, just hit like and subscribe, all that good stuff, and come see us Sunday, I guess. Or we don't have to do a Sunday show. We can just wait till Monday if you want, since we're doing tonight. Yeah, there's really nothing else to touch on. Unless something cataclysmic happens and we got to do an emergency show. Yeah. But other than that, we may just push it till Monday. Yeah, we'll be back Monday night after Raw. Because next week we'll have Raw, then we'll have two back-to-back nights. We'll do SmackDown, and then we'll do Backlash. Or one or the other, whatever we can you're available for, or I'm
But
available for that matter. So yeah, so we'll see everybody then. Appreciate it.